Today, I'm taking this folding electric bike on a proper day trip. I'm going to be jumping on a train, heading somewhere new, and letting the journey decide the story. Today's destination? Winchester, a historic city, once the capital of England. I'm going to be using just the one charge on this battery today, no top-ups. So let's see how things go. Let's get to the station.
And if you want to join me on my adventures as they happen, then you should hit subscribe, as there's so many places to be explored by bike that I can't wait to show you. The journey is 1 hour from London, and the bike would have fitted so neatly under the luggage rack, but this commuter train doesn't have them. So I popped it in the bike area, and you can see for comparison with this full-size bike just how compact it is. The good news is South Western Railway does allow electric folding bikes on their trains, provided they are fully folded and stored.
There's something really satisfying about combining trains with bikes, particularly when you have one like that just folds down so neatly and makes it so compact that you can take it with you anywhere.
A short ride later, I've arrived in Winchester, a city packed with history, stories, and a few surprises.
Well, I've already accidentally found my final stop for the day, the Eclipse Inn, and you need to wait and see what this one's all about, because there's some crazy history in this one.
First up, let's explore Winchester Cathedral. This wasn't just a religious building, it was a centre of power, politics and identity. It was founded in 1079, shortly after the Norman Conquest, and it has seen centuries of drama. During the English Civil War, Cromwell's men smashed statues and destroyed parts of the cathedral. Even the Great West Window was shattered, and later some parts reassembled, almost like a mosaic.
Jane Austen is buried here also. Now, as a girl being from Bath, Jane Austen adored Bath. She wrote a lot of famous novels based in Bath itself, and there's even a Jane Austen museum there too. She's been laid here to rest. Now, interestingly, if you read the text, it doesn't talk about her writing accomplishments. It talks more about her personality and her wonderful traits, and that's because actually she wasn't really a big writer at the time. That only really happened after her death. So instead, they've installed a new plaque here in gold with Jane Austen's name to talk about just how well she did as a writer. Behind me is 12th century paintings on the wall, and above me, look at this ceiling.
Beneath us is a crypt which sits on the water table and floods every year. There's even some water to be seen today. And inside is a sculpture called Sound 2 by Anthony Gormley, a famous British sculptor. A figure quietly cupping its hands as the water rises around it. The combination of water, silence, and human form is striking. And then there's one of the most incredible stories.
In the early 1900s, this cathedral was at risk of collapse, and so one man, William Walker, spent 5 years saving the foundations. He worked underwater in pitch black, working by touch alone for 6 hours a day in a big brass diving suit, and slowly removed the crumbling structure and replaced it with 25,000 concrete blocks. What a guy, he saved this historic building. All right, it's time to explore a little bit further, and this is where the folding electric bike is really going to come into its own.
From the cathedral, there's a really easy route out into nature. If you head for City Mill, you'll join the River Itchen, which then leads you onto the Itchen Navigation, a 10-mile trail that stretches from Winchester in the north to Woodmill near Swaveling in the south. Within minutes, you're riding alongside crystal clear water, passing old mill buildings, wooden bridges, and if you're lucky, wildlife too. It's hard to believe this is just a short reach from the city centre.
This is the ADO Air 20 Ultra 2026. That's right, ADO have come out with a brand new version. And if you are a subscriber to the channel, you'll know that this is a big deal. ADO make really good folding electric bikes, and the upgrades of this one, they're really good.
They've upgraded pretty much everything. A more powerful Bafang motor, which is now 50 Newton meters of torque, better waterproofing, integrated front and rear lights, stronger, more practical rear rack with AQS 2.0 compatibility, puncture-resistant tyres with reflective strips, and even NFC unlocking.
It's smooth, it's efficient, and it's perfect for a trip like this, where you've got to cram it into small spaces, take it on different terrain like towpaths and roads. This is a dream, this bike.
It's the kind of bike that just fades into the background, but in a really great way. It lets the ride take over. Find out more via the link in the description below, and give this video a like if you're finding it helpful. The bike is so comfortable. The front suspension takes on those surprise bumps with confidence so you can ease into a more off-road ride. The torque sensor gives a wonderfully natural feel of assist and responds to every push. And the automatic 3-speed gear changing is smooth and works as you need. And despite all the bumps, my bag is secure in the front, meaning I can take the load off my back. This is a lovely route to cycle, so if you visit by bike and want to soak up some nature, then this is a must-do. After my cycle, I decided to head back into town for some more historic buildings worth a look in. If you go behind the cathedral, there's an area called Cheney Court with beautiful Tudor buildings dating back to the 15th century. It's a perfect place for a photo. And next to it is Prior's Gate. Despite being centuries old, has stood the test of time. As you walk through, there are gorgeous bookshops, including possibly the oldest surviving bookshop in England. P&G Wells was founded in 1729. Jane Austen, in fact, lived just a few doors away, and her family had an account here. This place is a must visit. As you walk in, you are transported into another world, and the selection of books is wonderful. As well as local interest titles, they, of course, have an extensive range of Jane Austen, history and other social sciences and classics, as well as adult and younger fiction. Supporting independent bookshops is an absolute must, so please go and buy a book. But the shopping doesn't stop there, as just next door is a gorgeous family-run gift shop full of beautiful items, hand-selected products, and oozing with rustic charm. This city has so much to see, and I've barely scratched the surface. But for now, it's time to cycle back through the cathedral close to where we began, the Eclipse Inn, for some much needed grub. Now, this is a cozy little 16th century pub. Timber framed, low ceilings, exposed beams with leaded windows for you to look out onto the square, and with a rather bloody history. But before I get into that, we need to browse through the food options.
Apparently the pies are legendary here, so we've got to give them a try.
The pie was, of course, a winner. The pastry was perfection and exactly what I needed after all my exploring. But I think it's time we move on to more chilling happenings.
Well, that pie was delicious, but now we should talk about the slightly darker history linked to the Eclipse Inn, about a lady called Alice Lisle. So Lady Alice Lisle was a 17th century noblewoman living in Hampshire during a time of political unrest. In 1685, after the failed Monmouth Rebellion, she gave shelter to 2 men who had fought against the king. Although she claimed she did not know the full extent of their involvement, helping them was considered an act of treason. She was arrested and brought to the Eclipse Inn, where she was held before trial. Despite her age and status, she was found guilty and sentenced to death. In September of 1685, Lady Lisle was executed, becoming one of the most famous victims of the harsh punishments that followed the rebellion, and some say she still haunts the pub today.
Alright, enough spooky stories. I'm sure you're keen to know how the range held up with the ADO Air 20 Ultra. Now, ADO claims a range of up to 62 miles on one charge, and having ridden to the station, around Winchester, and then back home at the end of the day, I had plenty left. Having travelled nearly 15 miles in total using both eco and sport mode, and taking on some decent hills, the battery still had half a charge left.
Yes! Oh my gosh! Good to see you! Oh my goodness, that's crazy. Well, thank you. You have a great day. Keep a lookout for this new bike. Thank you. I just got recognised. Guys. Oh my goodness, this day has just been so great. I feel like I've seen and I've learned so much, and I haven't even scratched the surface of Winchester, and I feel like it's just been such a chill day, but not even about the destination itself, but how I've been able to move through it, how I've just been able to jump on a train. It's been so easy to have a bike that I can just fold down, pop it on there, and then also ride it around town wherever I need to go. Everything has been so simplified, so easy, and just so enjoyable. It means that I'm able to see Winchester at a different pace, to take it slow and to really take in the surroundings. And what a gorgeous place this is with so much history. Guys, if you want to find out any more information about the bike, then I will make sure to drop a link down in the description below. It's been a wonderful companion today. I hope you've enjoyed this little adventure and learned a bit of history along the way. If you have enjoyed this video, please make sure to give it a big fat thumbs up. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you definitely should, because you've made it this far, so you are an Electrohead. And I'll see you for the next one.